What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. And as you guys can see, this one isn't really going to be a long one. If anything, this isn't really much of a full episode. This is just me giving y'all some of my thoughts on some of the things that were shown at CinemaCon. But really, I also wanted to talk to y'all about like other content you guys may want to see from me on this channel and stuff like that. But before we get into that, I do want to say, of course, thank you as always to the people that checks out my content, leave likes and comments, and basically interact with the content that I put out. As you guys may notice, this week I haven't put out an episode this Tuesday either, just because there is no real reason besides the fact that I just didn't have really a topic to talk about. Just because, like I told y'all before, man, like I used to cover a lot of like what was going on with celebrities and like some stuff that's been going on in the world. But to be honest, these days I just kind of be like worried more about myself. Like obviously I do keep up with what's going on in the world, especially with this whole Trump and tariff stuff, which I actually, as of me recording this yesterday, I got the iPhone 16 just because I didn't want to run into the possibility of tariffs, hitting phones. So I'm like, okay, I needed to get a new phone. Let me hurry up and get this new phone before tariffs really strike. But I just really been focusing on myself a lot. So I'm going to try to like pay attention to what's going on just so I can implement that more into the podcast like I used to. But I ain't gonna lie, man, I really been focusing on myself a lot, which I would say is a good thing because that's kind of what I want to do, like focusing on my health and like things that, brings peace to me. Like that's really what I've been wanting to focus on. But like I said, man, no episode this past Tuesday, but I'm gonna try next week to get back on to like, the Tuesday schedule again. I know these Friday uploads got to be throwing y'all off, but yeah, with all that being said, let's get into some of these things that was announced at CinemaCon last week. Now, I did want to do a CinemaCon episode last week, but the Kanye thing, like people really wanted me to talk about that. So I just felt like, okay, I'll talk about Kanye then, and then I'll talk about CinemaCon now, which I'm not going to speak on the things that I already touched on in my most anticipated films video, because I did a most anticipated films video at the beginning of January. Was it the beginning of January? Either way, at the beginning of this year, I did a most anticipated films. And some of those films were like reintroduced or like, they were talking about them at CinemaCon, so I won't talk about those films. I might bring up the Kendrick Lamar one, or I guess I can say that right now, since like the Kendrick Lamar and the South Park creators movie, like they're working on a film together. That one was revealed at CinemaCon to be pushed back a year, and I think it was also revealed that the movie is just gonna be Paramount Plus only. I thought it was going to be a theatrical film, but it seems like it's just going to be a straight to streaming film. But then again, for them to talk about it at CinemaCon, I guess they decided, you know what, we're going to up it from a streaming movie to a theatrical film. So we'll have to see about that one. I just mostly want to talk about all the new things that was shown, the ones that I'm excited for that's new and stuff like that. So of course, off the top of my head, I'm just trying to remember all these announcements from the top of my head. Of course, all the Spider-Man news, like Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, they showed footage for that there. They showed a couple of screenshots, which those screenshots look amazing. I'm really looking forward to that because the Spider-Verse trilogy has really become like one of my favorite film trilogies of all time. I mean, obviously the third one isn't out yet, but the way that the series has been going so far, like it really might go down as one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Like it's such a great film series. Man, it's been a while since Across the Spider-Verse. I remember when they initially tried to get the movies like released one year and then the next year after the other, and I was like, ain't no way that is going to happen. Ain't no way y'all about to drop these movies back to back. Maybe it's easier to do with live action, but with animation, especially the type of animation style that the Spider-Verse movies has and how they mix different animation styles, and they're mixing like all these different Spider-Men with like their own different stuff going on, like I knew it wasn't going to come out like back to back like that they initially planned. But man, it's taken them a while to get this movie out. So I hope that the time that they're putting into this is going to match quality. That's what I'm really hoping. The other news is Spider-Man Brand New Day, basically the new Spider-Man trilogy for the MCU. And I'm really looking forward to that, especially since after No Way Home, there was just a lot of ways that they could take Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and I'm glad to see that with New Day or Brand New Day. It seems like it's almost like a soft reboot. It's almost like they're gonna do what the fans have been asking them to do for a while now, like make it a street level movie and like make Peter Parker his own hero and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I like the other MCU Spider-Man movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, which people overhate that movie. Far From Home is a really good movie, and No Way Home, like those are really great movies. But I can't lie, I do want to see like a street level Spider-Man movie. I do want to see like what Marvel would do with that. Now there's obviously still Sony in this where they want to make it multi-dimensional, but then I've been seeing a lot of reports lately that kind of goes back and forth with whether this is going to be street level or multi-dimensional. You know what, look, even if y'all only give us one street level MCU Spider-Man movie, I will be happy with that. But like, I really hope Sony don't come in here and mess it up. I really hope they don't. What's some other movies that were brought up that, you know, I'm kind of interested in? Ballerina, you know, the John Wick spin-off movie, which, oh yeah, also they announced that John Wick 5 is also happening. And I very disappointed in that. I hate when a movie or a series is marketed as the final thing and the main character, which, spoiler alert if you haven't seen John Wick 4, John Wick dies. I guess now we can say quote unquote dies in John Wick 4, and now they're announcing that John Wick 5 is supposed to happen. I mean, unless it's about to be a prequel. Oh wait, no, they announced a prequel animated movie, so that isn't gonna be the case. So I wonder what John Wick 5 is going to be, but they announced John Wick 5, and Ballerina is basically a spin-off of John Wick, which I think they said it takes place in between John Wick 3 and 4. It takes place in between like two of the sequels. I don't know if it's between 2 or 3 or 3 and 4. I don't know which one, but it does take place between one of the sequels. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if I brought that up in my most anticipated films list, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. What other ones did they talk about? Like I said, they talked about a lot of movies that I talked about. They announced How to Train Your Dragon 2, which was also pretty interesting. There was a lot of the crowd at CinemaCon got to see the first How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. They got to see that one early, and there's been a lot of positive reviews. One of my friends actually went to CinemaCon because he works for a reviewing company, so I gotta hit him up and see how he felt about that. I don't know if he'll want to tell me any details. Or hey, look, I know he sometimes watch the podcast, so if you're listening, I don't want you to spoil nothing for me. I do just want to hear your personal thoughts and stuff like that. What else? Jordan Peele's produced movie, or the new movie he's about to produce with Marlon Wayans. I know I talked about that in my most anticipated, but apparently at CinemaCon they were also shown a trailer, which I hate that some movies, like, they show trailers, but some of them don't come out, and then sometimes studios will release the trailer right afterwards, kind of like with Megan 2.0. Like, first off, I love the first Megan movie, so to know that they showed the trailer for it and then it was being described to us on the internet, like the people that weren't there, it was being described to us. And then the very next day, it was released to a whole bunch of praise and people really looking forward to Megan 2.0. So yeah, man, I don't know if I put that on my top anticipated list, but after seeing that trailer, it's definitely up there now. What else? Yeah, that's all the news that I can remember, or either movies that I haven't already talked about. So, yeah, let me know down below, man. What movies are y'all really looking forward to that was announced at CinemaCon? I know there's a lot that I obviously didn't touch on because I probably touched on it in another episode. But let me know down below, man, what movies y'all really looking forward to. And also, let me put y'all on game real quick. So, for me and all of y'all that probably didn't go to CinemaCon, apparently Fandango is holding a special event night to where you can actually see some things from CinemaCon. Now, I'm only going to say some things because I don't know if they're going to show like everything that was shown at CinemaCon, but they're holding an event called I bought a ticket for it, so let me pull it up. It's called the Sneak Peek Showcase. And basically, when I looked it up, like, what was it? Basically, it's supposed to be some or all of the trailers and footage that was shown at CinemaCon, and you can go to theaters and actually watch that footage that was shown there. So, I bought my ticket for it. It's only like $3. At least for me, it was only $3. I don't know how y'all movie theaters work, but for me, it was only $3. If you guys are interested in possibly seeing some new footage that we haven't been able to see as the public just yet from CinemaCon, definitely go check out on Fandango or even theaters that's around you. But I recommend using the Fandango app since you know it's going to be right there. I recommend looking up the Sneak Peek Showcase because you might actually be able to get a chance to see some footage that the public hasn't been able to see yet. So I know damn well I'm gonna check that out, and of course after I see that, I will come back and do an episode to tell you all about that. But yeah, the only other thing I really wanted to talk about real quick today is I want to like do new type of content. I mean, I know I've been saying I want to do vlogs and stuff like that, but like, y'all let me know what y'all want me to do because as you guys can see, sometimes I do get stunted with like topics for the podcast, and I hate like not being able to think of a topic and then just completely skipping over doing an episode, on Tuesdays for y'all. I want to do this in a way where, the podcast will still be the main thing that I do on here. Like I'm still trying to keep up with Tuesday uploads for the podcast, but I do want to try to come up with like other content that I can do on here to where even if I don't do a podcast episode, I can do a different video to make up for it. So, for the people that's been checking out the channel, let me know what y'all want to see. I know I've been getting a lot of subs from my videos, my collections, and my movie videos. Like let me know what y'all want me to see. Do you want me to review movies on here? Do you guys, I know I said I wanted to do vlogs, but like what type of vlogs do y'all want to see? Like let me know what y'all really feeling, man, because like I said, I hate not giving y'all content, so I want to have some things as backup even if I don't go through with the podcast or whatever. So yeah, like I said, this episode wasn't really going to be much. I just wanted to get y'all feedback, talk about some of the CinemaCon stuff. And yeah, I know it's not too crazy of an episode, but I just figured I'd put something out there for y'all and, give y'all the chance to talk about what y'all want to see on here. So let me know what y'all want to see. And with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out.